Hi, this is Queenie Yu. I'm with Bridget Kilgallon, who is running for trustee for the York Region District School Board. Bridget, welcome to Bullet Point News.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Great. Bridget, you're running for trustee in the York Region District School Board. Have you worked in educational administration before?
Not formally in my background, but I was a big volunteer over the years at my kids' schools in Newmarket and Aurora, and so somewhat in those roles, helping out in the classroom, all sorts of different roles that sometimes required administration. But my administration background is more in business, so I'm very familiar with getting things done, administrating things, being organized, and how things work when you have groups of people that are working towards a goal, and I'm very familiar with the machinations of it all.
Great. What are some of the guiding ethics and principles that you practice that would help our Stouffville voters with their decision?
Well, for me, the entire reason I'm running is the first time I've ever ran for something like this. So I'm new, and I actually feel proud that I'm new, and I'll offer a new perspective and a fresh eyes. And for me, my two guiding principles of why I even wanted to run are, number one, putting students first. And it sounds very simple, but it's not always done. Putting kids first. And secondly, empowering parents as shareholders in their kids' education, having input, knowing what's happening in the schools and the strategic direction of the boards. And, so those two things for me would guide every single action or decision I might be part of. Obviously, a trustee has no sole power. Their power is through voting decisions as a group. But those two things are entirely the reason I'm running.
What main
I
concerns
see a
will
lack in both of them. So, in my experience over the years and in the last 5 years, well, we can get into that later, but um, I feel those two things um, really need a focus.
what main concerns will you address for the people of Stouffville who attend primary and high schools?
I didn't catch the last part.
Sorry, what main concerns will you address for the people of Stouffville who attend primary and high schools?
Well, I think at this point, I'm sort of getting a sense of, because I live in Aurora. So, full disclosure, I'm not as familiar with Stouffville, of course, as I am with Aurora in this area and the schools. So I've been trying to sort of learn. One of my things I really want to do is focus on community outreach and get out there talking to parents and finding out what the main concerns are. I mean, I know some of the basics. Stouffville is quite rural in areas, so busing, and I'm sure there's all sorts of different things that parents care about. So I want to get a better understanding of that, because my role, to me, the primary role of the trustee is to connect the community, the parents, and the school board, right? And so that's what's driving me. So I really want to find out what's on the minds of people. So I've done a website with where you can write in, and I plan on getting out in the next few weeks and talking to people, particularly in Stouffville, because it's not my community. So I want to address what's on. I've already received some emails, etc. As soon as you're a candidate, some people are reaching out with their concerns, and I'm looking at those things. So yeah, I'm kind of, I hope that's a fair answer, that I'm trying to learn what is on the minds of Stouffville parents.
Great. So Stouffville District Secondary School is currently at capacity in terms of numbers of students. The Catholic school is opening next September. Will this be enough to address future overcrowding concerns?
Will the Catholic school opening be enough?
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure about the demographics in Stouffville in terms of, like I said, I'm still learning. It is a learning curve. I'm not going to lie. I have to learn about it, but I don't know what the demographics are. If there's enough Catholic families that will take the pressure off the overcrowding. So I would say I don't know. That's something I'll look into if that's one of the issues.
How will you engage and empower our parents to participate in the decision-making process?
That is something I think about every day. So, I'm sort of building that approach because by getting out there, first of all, because I'd like to have a good sense of that before the election, not once I get in. That would be an ongoing thing. I'd like to put forward things anything that would help connect parents to what's happening at the school board. So, different ideas. It would depend, what the board would pass or, what I could influence. But that's like a guiding principle of mine. So, because I've never served on a school board, I don't know exactly what I could do, but I'd like to find out a lot of that before the election so that I could go in being an advocate for parents straight off.
What about empowering our students in the decision-making process?
In the which process?
In the decision-making process.
Well, I know there's student trustees, right? Is that what you mean? Or just generally speaking? Because when I learned about student trustees, I thought that was fantastic. I've already been approached by a student trustee from the last 4 years, and he's endorsing me. So I'm very much about, like I said, what are the students saying? What is the community saying? What is, the overriding things happening? And the board needs to be responsive to that. So, yeah.
When you're advocating on behalf of our Stouffville parents and students, what will be the priorities?
Well, again, the role is to provide a voice to the parents. That's a big part of the role. You have to work within the constraints of the board and the way it's set up and the priorities it has, it follows. But the role is a liaison role. And so, like, I don't want to go in saying, I have my opinions as a parent, what I've experienced in the school system and what concerned me, what I liked, et cetera. But I want to wait to find out what is on the minds of parents and advocate for them. Like I said, as shareholders in their child's education, so many parents, like me before, didn't even know there's a role of a trustee. And I think that really needs to change. That there has to be more accountability to the parents in that community and the kids in that community to have a say. So, yeah, that's why I'm running.
Great. What would you like to say to undecided voters?
I guess I would say, if they're interested in like I said, being a shareholder in their child's education, having their concerns or issues taken seriously and brought forward, and not someone parroting mantras and ideology. If they're looking for fair play, the best interests of all students, that's really a key part of my message as well. And empowering parents. And because in COVID, parents couldn't even get in the building. So we're coming out of a period where there's very low transparency of what's being taught, the environment, the values that are being, prioritized, various things. So I would say, I guess, just if they're looking for someone who's just honest and straightforward and wants to do this role purely to give back and support parents and kids. That's why I'm here. They won't hear me parroting any mantras or lines. That's for sure.
Great. Is there anything else you would like to tell Bullet Point News audience?
Let's see. I'd like to work for them, I guess. That's the way I see the role. I also am self-employed with flexible hours, so I've decided to take this on. Most people would have a full-time job, and also, which is fair and fine, but I can devote a lot of time to this pursuit. So I've taken it very seriously to put my name forward and to take on this role, because I plan on giving it my all. And like I said, with the pure guide of putting kids first and empowering the parents in the community. So that's me.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you, and best of luck.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Queenie, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a great day.